Greetings. Welcome to Faulkner Fixes All, the only channel that matters. Okay, so it's been a while since I've done some bike stuff, and tomorrow me, you, and whoever are going to the Ecusta Trail, where you ride your bike like you used to on the Ecusta. It's a rail trail that's eventually going to lead from Hendersonville downtown in North Carolina to Brevard, a town, I guess that's northwest of there. Anyway, it's a town about, 12 miles away or 19 miles, something like that. I'm not specific on the actual mileage because they're still making the trail. They're still paving it and stuff. If you look back on the other videos, we did take a ride. I was on a Coppertone, 65 Coppertone racer that was converted to 5-speed. Oh, that's such a no-no. And wifey was, of course, on her little mountain bike with the blue tires. She likes that thing. It's like an 80s mongoose mountain bike. Nothing special, actually really vintage now. Nothing to write home about. She was going to ride a vintage bike this time, but she's sticking with the mountain bike because there is parts of the trail that are not paved yet. I don't think I'm going to have a problem with this gravel bike I made, but the last time I rode this bike, I was in a really big hurry. It was right after Hurricane Helene, and I quickly put this crazy rack on here and didn't care how it looked and didn't care about the fasteners. We were going to get some gas, which didn't turn out that well. There was no fuel anywhere. And, lifting it over down trees and stuff. Anyway, maybe I'll put a link for that video too. But I did ride this right after Hurricane Helene, and we tried to go to town and get some fuel. Wasn't happening. So anyway, I'd like to use this tomorrow because it has the rack, so I don't relying on Sarah with her twin water bottle holder. I'd like to put a water bottle on the back of this, so, or maybe even put the pack on it so we don't have to carry it. Anyway, it's kind of messed up, and I'll show you what I had to do so quickly. Right after the hurricane, I was just freaking out, It was in survival mode at that point. And so we're going to fix it today. Obviously, it's been in storage. It's down in the basement. Sometimes to get bikes down in there, you got to crunch things down, take pedals off and stuff. Anyway, this was a 700C conversion I did a while back. It's a great bike. It works really good, except the rack looks really goofy. And what we're going to do, obviously I can't use the bike stand because there's something on it. I think what we're going to do is turn it upside down, take the rack off, put the rack in the vise, and try to bend these at a 90 more. So this will go in more because it's really goofy looking and stuff's going to fall off. So that's what we're going to do. And to get it off, I'm not sure. I think I can get it off, but if I want to change the fasteners, I have to take the back wheel off. So let's quickly make the bars right. Which is 12mm wrench, which is weird on this one. Usually, someone may have changed this fastener. Usually these aren't 12. But this one is 12. And like I said, the reason I had those kicked over was for storage issues when they're down in the basement. To clear some of it's very tight crawl space down there. So to clear some things, sometimes you either have to twist the bar sideways or take them out, which would be a shame because there's all these cables. Okay, so now let's turn this over. Cheap little bell, barely works. That's all you need though. Hey, I'm passing on the left, passing on the right. Hey, wake up, lady. Okay, wake up with your 30-foot dog lead. Yeah. That's the worst. Okay, let's pop this back over. Maybe we won't be able to knock things off the stand. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is just take the back wheel off. Or at least get these fasteners out. Let's see what we're going to do. Oh, actually, let's leave that in for a minute. Yeah. I already made a mistake. Look at that. You know, a minute in and I already made a big mistake. Okay, let's pop this back over. Okay. I hope everybody had a good holiday. If that's what you were going for. Or a good protest or whatever you're doing. It's all good. Just keep it on the mellow. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to undo that bolt there. And we're going to take this rack off actually right now because I want to bend this and then refit it and then deal with the fasteners. So let's undo this. Yeah, I remember when I was putting this on, it was right after the hurricane, like that morning after. And I had no time to spare. I had to go and see if there was fuel for our generator. And of course there wasn't, but I needed a rack to hold it. And this was the only one I had, and it's totally wrong for this bike. And I didn't have time to bend this how I wanted it. I just didn't have time. In fact, I didn't even have time for the right fasteners. These bolts are huge, and they're wrong, and they don't come out with the wheel in, which is bad. And this one's also kind of stripped. We might have to cut that one out. I think I got it. Yeah, this one's stripped. Oh well. Let's undo this. And why is that stripped? Yeah. Oh, it's not cooperating. Here, well, push you over here so you can see what I'm dealing with. No bike stand and a stripped bolt. Maybe we can kind of torque it a little bit so it comes off. Let's see if we can. It definitely is some stripped threads. And it's not being nice. Yeah, definitely cross-threaded. How wonderful. I think I was using this as a spacer because of the thread of the bolt. We might have to zip this off, folks. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, don't let me get the wheel of death on you. I'll do it. We're getting the death wheel. Don't worry. It's coming off. Oh, it's coming off. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's coming off, folks. Here I am with sandals and shorts, operating a zip disc. Well, it'll just be for a second. Hopefully it won't spin around on us. Let's see here. Gloves will be nice. Yeah, I was kind of in a hurry after the hurricane. I remember this bolt, I just didn't have the right one. You guys there? Okay. If we can put this here maybe. That's not going to work. Okay. Okay, that's good. See, when I was using the wrenches, I was asking it to come off. And when you use a zip disc, you're not asking the bolt to come off anymore. You're telling it to come off. Okay. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. Ooh, how you feeling? Hot, hot, hot. Okay, that's good. We got that one out with much ado. Let's loosen this top one. And because we're going to bend that. And it's half inch. That's great. Yeah, good to see everyone. Yeah, it's been a while since we've had a bike video. Been tables and cars and welding and various stuff. But this is basically what this channel's about, so I wasn't going to leave you hanging. Don't worry. Well, you know what? Just take this right out. Because we can. Okay. Alright. So, what we're going to do is we're going to put this in the vise once I get it off, and we're going to bend the living heck out of this part right here. And then we're going to refit it back up and, you know, get an idea what's going on. Of course, this is being stubborn. Oh, I see. Wow. Yeah, we got to bend this in a little too. See, I was in such a hurry. Note to self, don't be in such a hurry. But we had to, you know, we had to go. We had to see if we could get supplies and food and gas. And none of that was available. Actually, the Publix market was available. Was open. But the amount of people lined up to go in there, we had some food at home. So we just decided that to go back and just let the people do their worrisome things, and we would go later. And I think that was the right thing to do. See, what's going on is this is pressurized from the cable. I could actually take the brake off, but I'm not going all that. Okay. Right. Get that. All right. So we're going to take this off. We're going to go over to the vise. And we're going to bend this. And we're going to bend this in a little bit. Because that's way too much there. And the angle is incorrect here. So let's go over here and see what we can do. See what we can do. Of course, this bike's in my way. Yeah, it's great. Okay. Woohoo! Still looking for that camera assistant. It's hot out here today too. All right, I'm gonna bend this. First, let's straighten this one tab out on the anvil too. Obviously, we're not really worried about the finish on this. You know, it's really not very good. Okay. If we were smart, we put a bolt through that when we bend it. I think I will, actually. We're not really smart, but we like to have the appearance of being knowledgeable. Anyway, we're putting the bolt back in this because we don't want it to... when we bend it, we don't want these holes to change. We want them to kind of be even. If I was really smart, I would put a collar in here. I think I'm all right, though. I'm just going to put it in here. And let's see, do we want that to go up or down? I forget what we're doing here. Right. Yeah. We want this to be bent up. All right. All right. This is it. The moment of truth. I'd like to grab it here. If I grab it here, it's just going to bend the whole thing. Let's see what we're going to do here. Well, we're just going to have to muscle it, I think. That might be too much. Okay. Observe. Let's go over here and see if it's going to be close. We don't have to actually put it on. We can just, you know, put it down that one that's there. And we'll bring it over here and we'll kind of see what's going on. I think it's going to be better. A little more. It needs a little more. Okay, let's go back over here. We're going to tweak it. I'm not really a tweaker, but I just bend things a lot. Okay, you know, if this doesn't work, we're going to have to put some vinegar on it. Okay, here we go. See if I can pop myself in the noggin here. You guys here? Okay. Well, that's really getting to be an extreme bend there. It's even though. The hole is even. Okay. Let's go back over here. Oh man, I never even noticed that. Look at that cute little reflector there. Man, if this wasn't all rusty, it'd be kind of a cool little rack. It looks like it got rusty and somebody sprayed it with silver paint. If I could only talk to those kids back in the day or whoever did it. Please don't just spray over rusty chrome with silver paint. Okay, this is looking better. It's not quite the angle we want. I think that's probably going to be about as good as we're going to get, really. Because if we start messing with it even more, you might run into the brake issue or something. I'd really like to have it like that, but these are actually too short. it going to be? It's going to be approximately like that. Well, it's better. It's not great. You know what? Let's tweak it a tiny bit more, because we like to tweak metal. Okay, a little more. Just a tiny skosh. Maybe we should bend it away from ourselves. We're not that smart, though. All right. Okay. Bent it a little bit odd that way. We'll have to straighten this out. Yeah, that tweaked it a little bit bad. Okay, let's go back over here. Yeah, you gotta just go in increments, you know. Oh yeah, that's it. It's gonna be a little slanted, but not bad. Okay, tell you what. Let's put this back together, and we will have to take the back wheel off to deal with this. Well, you can't see it. Okay, let's just keep going here. We're gonna put this back together now. I think we are gonna have to take the back wheel off to deal with this nut sticking out here. That's not gonna be, I'm not going for that. It's gotta be facing in the other way. Like I said, it was a quick little, we need to go to the store and see if we can get materials and things like that. Anyway, let's put this back together. This might shine up. I never really, you know, if you soak this in vinegar or something, it might shine up. I could probably run the steel wool on this once it's on and really get the pressure on it, you know. I don't think these are going to shine up very much. And is it really worth it? No. It's just a crummy rack. Doing crummy rack things. Okay, you know what, on this, I think what we're going to do here is we're going to undo the wire, which I probably should have done in the beginning. That way there's no pressure on this while I try to put this bolt back in. This is just flopping around. That's great. And maybe I could even just temporarily put this one on. Yeah, we just got that bottom, this bottom one loosely on just to hold it while I mess around with this brake part. Yeah, we forgot to bend this in too. Well, we can fix that. Okay, close. It's close. Yeah, that went a lot easier than taking it apart without the brake hardware hooked up. Okay, this had a snap washer. I think this had a snap washer on it. That would be really nice. That's not it. That's a 3/8 washer. Give me a second, folks. Okay. Yeah, we got something. Got a nice rusty, worn out lock washer. Okay, so this is just hanging here. That's okay. What we will do... Let's put the post back in. Oh, did we blow it already? No, we didn't. We don't blow it here. Faulkner fixes all. We don't blow it. Okay. This doesn't feel too greasy. Yeah, that felt a bit dry. Yeah, it's always good to get grease all over your hands when you're working on your bike. Screech. All right, that's pretty good. Let's tighten that up, and then we'll put the brake spreader back on. We'll put that back on, and then we'll mess with the bottom fasteners. And this is the angle. See, we're doing pretty good now. It's not great, and actually, that's pretty darn good, except it's a rusty piece of junk. All right, well, that's the angle I wanted. I didn't want that fall off angle. So let's get this back together, and then we'll turn the bike upside down, because I don't have a bike stand that's handy. Well, I do, but it's way over in the corner. It's that blue one over there. I didn't think this through. Okay, let's tighten this up. And then we'll put the brake bar back on. We're just guessing where the seat is at this point. I think I'm about that tall. Yeah. Therefore I am. No, go back up there. Okay. Yeah, I guess. That's a little high. That's a little high. I'm not that tall. All right, let's try that. Try not to scratch the frame, you know, because this frame is immaculate paint. Yeah, okay. That's good enough for now. This is down there where we want it. It looks pretty straight. When you pull the brake, well, it could be in a little. It's not. Okay. There. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Nice and straight to the brake. I'll show you that in a second. I'll show you what I'm trying to accomplish. Okay. Oh, let's go get my tool. Hang on. Still pretty hot out here today. I was kind of waiting for the end of the heat cycle today, you know. Okay, we got my little park tool on there. I'll show you what's happening here. So I was retightening this, and I wanted to keep this kind of in line to how the brake works. Like if this is kicked over that way, it's going to rub up in here. But this looks pretty close. It's not perfect. I could kick this out a little bit more. But I think once it's on there and pulling, I think it'll be pretty much straight up and down. And there's a little notch in here, and some of the bolts have a notch if I was using the correct bolt. So this actually, if it was a Schwinn rack, it would have a little notch in the hole where the rack is, and it would have a special long bolt with a notch on it. Can't really show you one because they're on other bikes, but of course this is the wrong fastener for this, but hey, we're gonna make it work. All right, so we got our park tool in here, and we're gonna try to weasel that back on. And it is in there. It's here. Good. Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. They're a little loose. We're gonna fix that real quick like. Okay, I can live with that. We won't know till we test it on the road, but I think we're okay for now. Let's flip this upside down and deal with these fasteners on the rack itself. Get rid of this sharp pointy bolt I had to cut off. Yeah, probably should have got that other bike rack out for this, but we're doing all right. Okay, so let's deal with this one first because we can. And what we have is this. These are actually left over from some job. I was plugging a hole, a threaded hole, so no paint would get in there. And this was just the byproduct of it, but. So it would look like that, but you know what? I'll go for the black one. You know, something about shiny new hardware on an old bike. It's kind of like, whatever. Okay, let's put this in. Now this one, we can come in the right way now and use a washer and a lock nut, and hopefully it won't come apart and it won't be gouging into the fixed gear part. We don't want that to hit as close, but it's not going to hit. I could hacksaw that if I really wanted to. I might if it bugs me. Let's just put it on for now. Yeah, I think that's all right. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's a good ½ inch away. And this one, unfortunately, I believe we have to take the back wheel off to get that piece of junk out of there. Yeah. I really don't want to. I don't want to take the back wheel off. I don't see a way around that. Okay. We'll try to weasel it out. I don't think it's going to come. No way, Jack. All right, let's take the back wheel off. Great. 15. Use your body weight. You know, don't pull up at your face. Use your body weight to push down. That way, if the wrench slips, or something happens, your arm's going away from your noggin and your face and your safety glasses. Okay. Don't ask me how I know. Okay, now we didn't have to take it off. We just kicked it forward a little bit and I can get that bolt out. Yeah, I was definitely in a hurry. That's a grade 5, that's good. Alright, let's just pop that back in. And then we'll put the black bolt in like the other side. And now would be a great time to turn the wheel around if you're gonna ride fixed gear. You could just flip this around. And that's why they call it a flip-flop hub. But tomorrow is not a fixed gear ride. Tomorrow is a take it easy kind of thing. That's probably too tight. That's too tight. Not the greatest rim, that's for sure. Not the greatest rim. Okay, we're going to go with that for now. Alright, we're not going to put the final tighten on that. Let's get the bolts in like we want. We got that one in. I'm okay with that not being hacksawed. Let's see if this one, if we can put the black one in here and not have to hacksaw. We might have to hacksaw it. I can see the clearance there is a little bit less than this other side. What am I talking hacksaw? We got a zip disc right here. Dude. All right, let's put this in and just see what it looks like. Oh, no way. Yeah. Oh, no way. Okay, that's why you check these things. Yeah, I mean, it would be really tight. Sure, you might be able to get away with that, but if something flexes or, you know, no, that's a no in my book. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take this, we're going to spin the bolt on it. We're going to hold it in the vise with the bolt. And we're going to take a little nip off of that. Oops. Without washers will be good. And that way, when you're done and you take the bolt back off and you've made that bolt smaller, it automatically kind of chases the threads for you. You know, because you're taking that bolt back off. Anyway, we're going to cut about that much off. Hopefully it won't. All right. Man, it's muggy out here. Woo! Dude. All right. Let's get you back over here. Yeah, we're talking about a hacksaw. Oh, no. I'm not going to do any hacksawing today. It's not what we do. Ooh, dear. That was cool. Wow, did you guys see that? It just happened to rest on that hunk of metal there. Wow, that was really cool. Safety first. All right, so we're going to take a little bit off of that. let's unplug this thing. Yeah, let's unplug that and put it down. That was fun. All right, so now, man, it's hot out here. Wow, it is muggy. So now when we undo that, if I didn't do too much off of that, when we unthread that off of there, it'll chase those threads. It'll chase it off. Let me find a wrench. Here it is. Because you've cut this bolt, you know, there we go. So you're taking that off, and you're naturally just chasing those threads a little. See, it got stuck there. And we can use the bolt to kind of work it back and forth. Don't take it all the way off. Just work it back and forth a few times. And there you have it. And hopefully I didn't take too much off. Yeah. Let's see if I took too much off. I mean, I wasn't exactly measuring with the before I zipped it. Oh, it's close. I might have taken too much off. Dang it, folks. Right. Well, I don't think I'll be able to run a snap washer on this. Maybe I'll use some Loctite or something. Dang. It's really great. I think I'm going to get the Loctite because I cannot use a snap washer on this. Okay, bear with me. I know, it's the longest video in the world here, just to get a rack on. Actually, we're just modifying a rack that doesn't really fit this. We're doing our best. All right, let's put some blue Loctite in here. I cannot run a snap washer. There's not enough room, and even if I did cut it longer, there's still not enough room. It's just too tight. I could use a nylock bolt. Okay, we got it. Let's grab it with some. Whew. Man, it's hot. I was waiting till a little bit later in the evening to be cooler, but it just doesn't look like it's going to get there today. Okay. All right, we have not used a lock. Unfortunately, we did not use a lock washer. I had to cut it pretty tight, you know. I had to cut this bolt pretty tight, and there wasn't enough room. I want it to be far away from that. I don't need it to be close to that. That's close enough, you know. That's close enough. So we got that. It's gonna be okay. I don't know if I should put a washer on that side. Looks okay. Okay, let's tighten this other one up, and then we'll flip the bike over, and I guess I can live with that. Yeah, it's pretty far away. Now, if I did flip the hub over, though, You know, we better cut that. We better cut this one too, because when we flip the hub over and use the fixed gear on that side, this is going to be closer. Yeah, you know what? We got to cut this. We got to do both. Dang it. Well, I won't cut as much of this one off. In fact, I have another one that's painted black we could just throw in there and cut real quick. Let's do that. Okay. And we won't cut as much off of this one. We're not going to go all gung-ho. Same deal. We're just going to work it past that rough spot I just cut and kind of pretend like we have a thread chaser in our hand, and we don't. And will it go back on there? Yes. But just to be sure, we'll kind of run this around a little bit. And we'll make double sure. Yeah, we got it. All right, let's go back over here. I know it's annoying, but you know, you flip the hub back around. If we put it on the fixed gear side, I guarantee you that this distance from there to here would be the same. And if that's the distance there, it's going to hit that. So, and then we'd be like, oh, I guess we can't flip this around. Oh, bummer. It's not a flip-flop hub. It's a Faulkner Blewett. Put some vinegar on it. Okay, so let's take this back out. You guys with me? Yeah, you're here. And this one, I think we'll probably get away with a snap washer on this one. It seems to be some room. Or maybe not. It's going to be tight. I think we got it. Yeah, I think we got a snap in there. You know what? I should just put some Loctite on this anyway. It couldn't hurt, right? A little blue Loctite in the bolt and the nut. It couldn't hurt. Man, we got it. Can't believe it. Good. That's not the greatest wheel. Okay, so now, see, we got it now. That distance there and this distance here, when you flip this hub around, it will not rub. Before, that big bolt sticking through, it cleared that, but when you flip the hub around, it wasn't going to clear that. Obviously, it would not clear that. It would hit it. Okay, so that's good. Let's flip it back up. And I don't really like these grips either, but I don't think we're doing the whole, let's spruce up the grip thing. I think we're just trying to get the rack to look better and function better. I think we have succeeded in that. The chain feels good. I'm checking the chain for like tight spots. It feels good. Let's just put the final tighten on these and make sure that these are good. Yeah, all right, it's not the best back rim, a little warped. Yeah, I think we're good. By the way, these gator skin tires, these Continental gator skins, they're pretty good. I've done some stuff with these that I shouldn't have. You know me, Schwinn 10 speeds in the off-road. Anyway, even though there's no real tread on there, they're kind of smooth. They handle a beating. I've taken this bike through some severe stuff already, not just the Hurricane Helene aftermath, but before that. These gator skins are good, but you know, they're not knobby, obviously. So, yeah, but I do recommend, they're worth the money. They are a good quality product. The sidewall is decent. On the road, they're great. And you can even do some mild stuff. Let's pop it back up and make sure the back brakes are good. I think we're almost ready for a little ride. Yeah, back brakes definitely need an adjustment. We're running low on camera juice, so you know what? We're just going to go take a ride right now. Because we can. Let's go, folks. Come on. You can't stay here and watch, you know, wood dry and tables dry. This is going to be nice. It's a poplar table. 6 foot by 14.5 inches. 6 foot long by, oh, what is this? Yeah, 14.5 by 6'1". It's going to be a 28-inch tall console table, and you can't really see it, but this poplar in the side there, it's going to be really nice. You can't really see it with all this stuff on, but and I'll go up and run it through the planer at Victor's place, run that through, and then sand it up. It's going to be pretty good. All right, let's go. Go test this thing out. The back brakes do need an adjustment, but we can do that before I go tomorrow. And I think wifey's going to take this bike tomorrow. But yeah, I think we're good. It's you know, it is definitely more of a usable thing now, you know. Probably have to kick that one holder up there with the cable. It looks a little off. Yeah, we'll have to look at that. All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we gotta adjust those back brakes. They're ridiculous. You know, I undid it, so we're gonna have to maybe cinch the cable back up. I'm not sure. Broken, world's crappiest bell. Good ratio on this. Decent ratio. Okay, You know, with these skinny tires, you wouldn't want to go through this berm pile, right? Oh, you know I'm doing it. One hand action. Oh, yeah. Oh. All right, well, we made it through the berm pile, but we didn't quite nail the exit. All right. Like I say, these tires, you know, they're smooth and everything, but they take a beating. We used to be able to go through here. What do you guys think? Think we can go through here? Maybe this wasn't a good idea. Uh-oh. Getting kind of tight. Yeah, these gator skins are good. It has nothing to do with my ability. It's all the tires. It's not me. Okay. All right, well, I'd say we tested this thing out pretty good. I do need to adjust the back brake. I think I'm going to raise the seat up maybe an inch and figure out how I'm going to get some water on the back of this thing, maybe in a pack. I have another bike with a water holder that's also a Continental, but it was way back in the stack. I couldn't justify an hour of work to get a bike with a water bottle holder. I just fixed the rack on this, so I think I can wedge one in there, or at least just put a little fanny pack on there in the back and some container. Good bike. Okay. All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this edition. Yeah, the gearing is decent on this. It's not bad. Just enough for some light off-roading. And the tires, you know, I'm sure they're not recommended for what I do with them, but, you know, Continental tire. I think they're made in Germany. They're worth the dough. If you're vacillating on, you know, some of the cheaper brands, I would recommend these. You just saw what I did with this thing, right? So I think this is a win. So I think we have to adjust this a little bit. I might raise the seat about an inch before we go, and I think I'm gonna squeeze these in and run that up a little bit more, make these a little more action wise. They're just not quite have the action I want. And this is a win. These bolts are clear. The angle of the rack is looking almost presentable. And if we were to grab some steel wool and spend hours and hours and hours, you know what? Let's see how it does. Let's scrub up a little piece and see if it would actually shine up. I have my doubts, like maybe right here where it's really rusty. Let's see what that does. Put some vinegar on it. Yeah, that might even be worth shining up. I mean, you're not going to get that off, but you could hold this up with a block of wood and get in there. Somebody sprayed it with silver paint. That's what's going on. And maybe you could scrape this reflector tape off. That would probably be really good under there. This is silver paint, though. That's not coming off. You might get some more of this off. I don't think it's really worth it. It's not that good of a rack. Although with that orange shit off the back, we'll do a video tomorrow and at the Ecusta Trail. And if you see this rack all shiny, you know that I am a tweaker. No, in a good way. Okay, hey, thanks for tuning in. And sorry, I've been a little bit preoccupied with some other work. But tomorrow we're going to take a ride. I'll have a little video of that. And it should be pretty good. And we'll have fun. And I think this is going to be okay. All right, the only channel that matters. Think about subscribing. Hit that little buzzer bell to make sure you see the new videos. Leave a comment. Think about becoming a paid subscriber too. I mean, look at all those videos on there I got of all the, the special videos that only paid subscribers can see. I think there's 2 now. Have a good night, guys and ladies. Keep it positive. Work on your stuff. You feeling down? Just come out in your garage or wherever you work. And if you don't have a shop, you don't really need a shop with bikes. You can work on a bike in your living room if you have a tolerant spouse. All right. Hey, good vibes only, guys. All right. Peace.